Hey traders, let's take a moment to thank and feature one of our top sponsors, FX2 Funding. If you're looking to get funded, listen up. FX2 is offering traders the chance to trade with up to $200,000 in simulated capital and receive up to 85% of their results. If you're interested in getting started, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below. If you pass the evaluation, you'll receive your feedback and gain access to your new account. FX2 allows traders access to a wide range of assets and allows traders to hold their trades over the weekend. FX2 is giving A1 Trading Show fans 15% off the evaluation fee if you use promo code A1Trading15. So if you'd like to learn more, again, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below and use code A1Trading15 at checkout for a discount on any of their evaluations. Now back to the show.
Back to another live stream. Thank you for being here and hope you're doing well. We are jumping into the markets as another day in these crazy markets gets going again. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I want to invite you to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and let's jump into some charts. Starting out, I want to talk a little bit about the dollar. Of course, today we're ahead of unemployment claims, which come out in just about 10 minutes, which unemployment claims can be market moving. They can also be not market moving. It just depends. And we'll have to see in terms of claims. If we do get hotter than expected, well, basically, if unemployment comes out higher than expected, that would be probably bearish for the US dollar, showing some possible weakening in the labor market. And if jobs numbers come out really strong, meaning low number of people filing for unemployment, then that could be actually dollar bullish. So we've also got at the same time the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which could also be a nice potential market mover, but we'll keep an eye on that regardless. So first of all, the state of the US dollar, where are we at with dollar bullishness, bearishness? Where are we at? Let's take a look. So in terms of the daily chart, which we can draw up here, what we can see here is that we're still in overall a really strong upward trend. I think, it would be hard pressed to try and tell me right now, I think that the dollar is in a downtrend, because clearly, you take a look at this trend line here, it's just a straight shot to the upside. However, currently we do probably have a good case to be made for some shorter term resistance that the dollar is trying to fight through. So let me clarify this. So dollar bulls would point to, hey, we're supported at this upward trend line. Notice how we had this nice push to the upside, price pulled back into this trend line, found support again. It looks like a relatively bullish chart. Now, this is also supported by rising yields, right? We've talked at length about the 10-year, which has just been flying high. This is, of course, the yield offered on a 10-year government bond. And when this is rising, it's going to create dollar demand. It's also in reference to a U.S., a strong expected level, an expected economy due to the expectations of inflation being stubborn. So my point with all that is you take a look at the dollar. I think it's supported in terms of a fundamental basis to continue making a push higher. But then the question becomes, how do you want to play it? Do you want to look to get long at where current price is, or is there a more technical savvy entry? Well, I think that there probably is a good case to be made for either waiting for a deeper retracement if you're a bull, right? Maybe you could get a retouch into this level of support, which is probably more noticeable on the 4-hour. We'll take a look at the 4-hour in a moment, or a breakout perhaps on something like stronger claims numbers, better than expected unemployment claims numbers. We'll see. So let's drop down to the 4-hour chart, as I mentioned. So we take a look at the 4-hour, and what we can see pretty quick was we could tighten up our levels of support and resistance just a bit. And you can notice that we have pretty strong resistance around this 106.6 level. Price is rejecting it here this morning. But again, you've got that support line, that upward trend line just down below price. So it'll be interesting to see if price is able to break through that level and continue to push back up to the highs. I personally do think that the dollar overall looks strong. And my personal opinion would be either looking for a possible pullback buy on the dollar index, right? So looking for a dip deeper into this kind of this sweet spot, or if we get a breakout and retest, there could be a nice opportunity to trade this one back to the highs, in my personal opinion. as always, right? These videos, these streams, I'm not here telling you what to do with your trading account. I'm sharing my personal thoughts. Speaking of my personal thoughts, I was really wrong about the NASDAQ in the short term, though I still overall am bullish in the longer term. I like the way we're holding this support level, and I very well may be looking to take another long trade today. I'll keep people up to date on this one. Another market that I'm watching really close is actually oil. So oil had a nice pullback into this support zone, and I want to do another kind of daily chart analysis breakdown here for you. Again, longer term upward trend looking good on this chart, right? You have this nice overall kind of trend to the upside. Take a look, guys, how this price broke out just recently as we made a move outside of this kind of this triangle shape, right? We pushed up and out of that range. Price has been supported, of course, due to escalations between Iran and oil supplying countries that perhaps support a different side of the war than the U.S. does, right? So when you have that tension, those conflicts can lead to supply limitations, that is oil up 101, right? If supply limitations are severe, that is going to, right? There's a supply and demand aspect to physical oil, right? If the supply goes down, demand has to go up. If supply goes up, demand is going to go down, right? Because there's more of it. So it just depends. If we do, in fact, see that continue to escalate, oil is likely going to push higher. And I overall have been and still am bullish on oil. And I just actually like the price action now. I think I'm finally possibly going to see a little bit of an opportunity to trade it. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. And just see how price action forms on this candle, and then I may make a decision. If I do take trades and you guys would like to see them, you can do two things. The first one, I'm going to drop this link here in the chat, or have the support rep do this. If you guys would like to join our free Discord, we put out analysis each and every day totally for free. If you'd like to get access to that, click this link, fill out that form, and you'll be connected to the Discord channel. And also at the same time, we also have a Telegram chat or a channel that you can join as well. We'll drop the link to that. If you guys prefer Telegram, we share our analysis in both channels for you guys to keep up to date with what's going on. So again, guys, we've got claims coming out in 4 minutes. So we will see how things go there. I want to take a quick look at the Smart Money Tracker in case you missed some of this coverage earlier in the week. We'll talk now a little bit about the positioning of institutional money, because again, a lot of people are wondering, out of all of this, what are big players doing? What are hedge funds and banks doing? Are they buying oil? Are they buying gold? What is kind of their positioning? And what you can see here is that on the screen now, this is the COT net institutional positioning. We can very quickly track what institutional money is long and what they are short. So very clearly, the more red, the more short they are. The more blue, the more long they are on a net positioning standpoint. So the Japanese yen, the Australian dollar, the CAD, those are our three biggest sells currently. And then on the long position side, the US dollar, oil, and the Nikkei. Okay. So what do we do with that information? Well, again, these are the pros. And if the pros are buying something or shorting something, usually I try and be aligned with them, not going against them. Not always, but of course, in often enough. Okay. On top of that, though, the other thing to pay attention to with COT data is the latest filing. Because if you can take a look at how these numbers up top are changing week to week, that can be very powerful stuff. And in fact, we pay more attention to this table down here than we do the above one. The NASDAQ saw a nice increase, which has been why I've been pretty bullish on the NASDAQ. But I've paused recently because price action kind of fell apart on me. I'll show you the NASDAQ really quick. All right, so we take a look at NAS100. Price is hitting a support level. And like I mentioned, I might be interested in trying this level out, but I'll have to take a closer look at that in a moment. But NASDAQ looks supported overall. US dollar still looks supported. We've stayed bullish on the dollar for that reason, right? USD bullish because institutional money seems to be still bullish. Oil, same thing, a nice increase in demand for oil from institutional money. And I'm referencing this far right-hand column. For those of you guys who have EDGEFINDER, always check this net change column. It basically just calculates and summarizes all of this data here week to week for you. So it gives you the week to week net change. It's very, very useful bit of information there. So you take a look at gold here. And this is why I think, gold has had a really big boost this week with everything going on in terms of the crisis in Israel and Palestine. But I think that in terms of just purely that kind of has been a knee-jerk reaction to buy gold dramatically, and I don't necessarily think it's a massive game-changing effect that will go into place. But I could be wrong about that. So I don't have any trades on gold. I'll take a look at gold for us here together as we get going. I think this is important to continue to cover, even though I don't have any trades on gold. I know a lot of you guys are interested in gold, so I'll do my best to kind of give you a quick run through or breakdown on how this one has been trading. So gold, in terms of week-to-week COT data, what we can see here is that there was a big decline in overall positioning, right? A lot of short pressure came into the gold market, which I think is interesting when you cross-reference it to the US dollar, and you can see 2.08% increase in dollar bullishness. So there's a pretty clear distinction there. Okay. We're coming into some labor statistics stuff here this morning. So let me see if I can show you guys some stuff. Again, we've got claims coming out. Actually, let me not miss it. I've been missing news. We're coming in breaking news right now. So let's see. So we've got claims coming out in just a second here. I almost missed it here today, guys. Let's see if we do get anything interesting. Gold ticked lower here for just a brief moment. Look at the dollar index. Dollar index slightly down. Nothing dramatic right now. Let's just double check. Okay, so we got 198,000 showing job strength, right? Lower than expected, shows less people filing for unemployment. Less people filing for unemployment, strong for the U.S. economy, and vice versa, the representation of the U.S. economy, the U.S. dollar. So 198. Not a massive, you look at probably the, if it had been like 150 or 275, that might have been a little bit more market moving, but we are seeing a little bit of a come down on the dollar, which I think is somewhat interesting. Here's the dollar rejecting. Again, we talked at length at the dollar earlier in the stream, but just to recap where we were, again, I mentioned possibly looking for some dollar longs if price does pull back into this level of support. There's a couple pairs that I'm interested in possibly watching closer. I'm sorry, guys, I kind of got distracted with my gold analysis there with the news, but let's kind of jump back on that train. Gold broke out big time, like a really impressive move higher. And I actually have not taken any shorts against this move, despite my overall bearish bias. I haven't really gotten any technical setups. And this is kind of cool. And this is why, when we talk trading strategy, I look at multiple areas in the market. Now, this by no means makes me right all the time. Again, if you guys have been watching my channel closely, you know that I'm kind of in a drawdown right now and dealing with some losses on the NASDAQ this week. And by no means does this make you a perfect trader. But by considering several areas of the market like fundamentals, sentiment analysis, and technical analysis, I'm able to combine multiple really important areas of analysis to give more confluence to my trading. So technicals still look really strong, right? We have a really strong bullish move here. And there's a good argument that until this kind of cracks, likely it is just set to continue. Again, that's also off the back of concerns around the wartime effort, which, again, I think fundamentals matter because you could read into that situation and perhaps kind of identify if things are more likely to escalate or kind of get an early jump on something, understanding how important fundamentally it could be to the markets. Of course, if there is escalation, there's going to be a fear trade, which continues to be what has been pushing gold up. There's also going to be supply issues due to sanctions and embargoes and things like that, which could also add to the oil trade. So again, I mentioned oil being something on my watch list. I'm watching to see how oil price action plays out today. I've marked this level of support on my chart previously, so I'll put it back on there. I'm watching this area, see how this price action so far looks to be bouncing pretty well. We had a big spike to the downside, so I think things could be interesting from that perspective. So yeah, breaking news missed again. No, I was there. I watched it, but I do miss it often. I've got to be honest. I do miss it sometimes. Although, yes. Why NZD very weak, please? It's not really a market that I pay close attention to in terms of the fundamentals, but I will say, Australian dollar, the close cousin of the New Zealand dollar. One thing to point to is if you're taking a look at the smart money tracker, look at this. Institutional money does not like the Australian dollar. 77.3% of the positions opened by big money are short, right? That's really concerning. So again, the New Zealand dollar, not quite as polarized, but still 55% short. I like to keep an eye on, institutional positioning for this exact reason. When you have positioning very strongly one way, from pros, from big money, like for example, take a look at the yen. The yen has been a bearish call for like a year straight now. And if you take a look at what the yen has done, if you've been bearish yen, meaning bullish dollar, bearish yen, right? Selling yen, bullish dollar, this has been an incredible trade that smart money has been riding for a long time here, right? So, and again, I'm not guessing that smart money has been doing that. I'm not trying to interpret price action to figure out what smart money is doing. I'm not doing any sort of that business. I have the stats in front of us from the CFTC, right? So we know what institutional money is doing. We can read it on the COT reports that we've got visualized here. I just want to take a quick pause to remind you guys, if you would like access to this data, if you'd like access to our smart money tracker, or you'd like access to the algorithm, the Edge Finder, which helps me to find the trade setups that I find on stream each day. I mentioned looking at oil. Oil popped up on my watch list here today, so I'm watching closely US oil, right? So I'll pay close attention to that one. This one showed up. COT bias looks pretty good. Retail's pretty long oil, so that kind of goes against me. Seasonally, we expect some bullishness there. Trend to the upside, and notably, guys, where we're earning some score points here is inflation in the labor market. The U.S. economy is still pretty strong. And until that cracks, that's going to generally give us more bullish bias on oil. Think about it. Strong labor market, strong economies, if they do stay strong, what it's going to do is it's inevitably going to cause demand for growing economies are going to demand more oil. So I do like the oil trade. And if I can find a setup, I will take it inside of the Discord VIP. So if you guys would like to get notifications or you'd like to get access to the Edge Finder, let's do this real quick. We just dropped this link in the chat. Click this link. Stream viewers get extra discounts if they message us while we're live. So click this link. Here's what happens when you do. It'll take you to our support reps in the office. There's 3 of us on staff. Who are dedicated to working with people who would like access to our software tools. They're trained with the tools, or they can get you set up with a membership in the group if you'd like to get trade alerts or trade signals from Frank and myself whenever we take trades. If you would like any of that, get a discount, message us, click this link here, and it will take you to this spot that you see. Just message us here. Let us know that you're interested in the signals or the Edge Finder or both. And someone from our team will hook you up with great discounts on our products because you're a stream viewer. We do appreciate our viewers quite a bit. Of course, that's the reason we're here. And that's the reason we're able to do these shows and create such great software for people. So we do appreciate you guys. And that's why we offer special discounts for people who message us. So click that link, take advantage. And says, I'll be a gold member soon, bro. That's awesome, Glenn. We look forward to having you in the group. So yeah, USD JPY still just chugging higher. And this is just, this is a chart I think that has probably slain a lot of people, right? This thing has just been a straight upshot, and it's been a really hard market to kind of go against. And for good reason, right? The dollar has just been so rock solid. And we'll continue. I mean, I've been getting kind of US dollar bullish signals for some time. And until that changes, we stay the course. Dollar yen bull, euro dollar, Kiwi dollar, Aussie dollar, pound dollar bear, right? We've got those generated for us based on a mix of fundamentals and sentiment. Taking a quick look at the euro, you can see it's pushing higher here today. Let's see, quick look across the board. We've got S&P making a little bit of a stab higher. NASDAQ also same thing. And then you've got gold still pushing, silver still pushing, Oil kind of holding its own here. Yeah, very interesting. So let's see what I was just getting into some currency pairs here. So Euro USD, again, making a push higher. I've mentioned this before, but I think the Euro on a daily chart perspective for now looks like it will probably be top heavy coming up into this area around 1.062, right? Somewhere in this level of resistance. So if price does push back up into that area, I may look to possibly get on the short side and just kind of bet the continuation of this trend based on, the European economy seems weaker than the US dollar, right? And you can see that apparent in the scoring, right? If you're like, well, what are you referring to? Well, look at GDP. GDP favors the US. Inflation favors the US, right? The labor market slightly favors Europe right now. And interest rates obviously favor the US with higher interest rates. So overall, a strong signal for being short euro dollar. So a rally in this one does look like it may be an opportunity, in my view, to kind of be continuation shorts. So, but I probably will be patient on that, looking for a deeper pullback up into this area and then trying to bet the continuation. So we'll see if we can get that set up. But definitely on the sidelines for that one right now. So we'll keep tabs on that as we get closer. Guys, we're going to bring in Miko and Marco in just a moment. But before we do, we're going to thank our sponsors here on the show. We are, of course, only able to do this and support, the staff, the team, the software, all the recording studio stuff. In order to do this, we do rely on sponsors and, of course, our audience for being here. We're going to thank our sponsors real quick, and then we'll go to Miko and Marco. So check this out.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now, back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, guys, and we're back with Miko and Marco. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
What's up? What's up?
Good to have you guys back. And, market's still moving fast as always. I went through some dollar stuff. I've been pretty dollar bullish. We do this segment. We focus kind of more on technicals today. So I'm excited to just see in terms of charting where you guys are at. Marco, we'll go to you first. What's on the radar today?
So for me, I actually had 2 trades today, but let me go over all of my 6 pairs. So Euro US dollar is flat, range bound, and not seeing much potential in this one. Euro Japanese yen is possibly starting to impulse right here, showing me a bit of momentum. So what I would like to see is momentum continue a bit more, and then I would take a flag or a nice break and retest trade to buy. So I do like it. It is on my watch list. Then Aussie US dollar, I actually had a short trade right here, which was a loss in the end. What I was seeing basically this ascending channel, after which I expect the price to drop, and then we got a nice established downtrend. So I was very happy to take this flag that formed right here, but got stopped out for a 1% loss. Current price action, it can still continue trending down. So it still has not broken the structure. So if we get something like this, I will continue trying to sell. Aussie JPY looks pretty much the same as the Aussie US dollar, so I do expect more downside as well. And I did take a short trade at the same time on this pair, which was a loss on this flag formation. So yeah, I like both the Aussie pairs to go down because of this ascending channel, and then I'm seeing this confirmed bearish pressure as well with these 2 large bearish legs. Okay, so then we have the pound. The pound for me personally is pretty flat. especially on this pair, I need to see large impulses with some really strong momentum up or going down. So this pair I'm leaving alone. And NJ, New Zealand, Japanese yen, it is definitely showing me a downtrend in these two legs. Am I looking to sell? Well, potentially. Looking for a flag formation, but I want to see a cleaner formation. What I don't like is I don't like this bullish candle right here. Best case scenario for me would be for the downtrend to continue, and then I get in on a lower formation like this. So on my watch list is EJ to buy, AU to sell, AJ to sell, and NJ is to sell. So that's kind of it. Markets are definitely moving if I compare it to the last few weeks or last few months for the strategy that I trade. So it's good to see. It's good to see some nice trends. What do I mean when I say nice trends? I mean these legs right here. So these consecutive bearish candles, nice strong legs. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to trade as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it's been a nice tick up in the VIX as well, which we talk about often, just in terms of volatility, especially trend traders. You know, a rise in the VIX is usually a good thing, because usually that expands the ranges of markets. So suddenly you get kind of this massive expansion in terms of how far and how wide markets can move. So if you catch one of those expansions, that's where you're going to have those nice runners. Miko, what about yourself? Are you still watching dollar crosses?
Yes, I am actually. I am in a trade at the moment. I'm shorting Aussie dollar from this level up here. I'm actually looking for quite a big swing trade. I've made a recent tweak in my management. I'm looking to try and push my trades a little bit further than usual. So I'm going to experiment, see how that goes. But I'm looking at price coming back down to that low, which I've talked about a few times coming onto the stream. But yeah, we've got a nice trend. As Marco mentioned, we're seeing some nice momentum picking up as well. Hasn't really broken through the lows yet. I'm still waiting for that to happen, but I'm looking for us to come all the way back down to that low. I would say that's probably the only dollar pair I'm looking at the moment. I do like NZUSD, some nice momentum as well, but that one's not quite ready for me yet. I still need to see some lower lows and some lower highs and some pullbacks for me to be interested, but probably for next week, I think this one will make its way to my watch list. Still looking at push down to that low there as well. So I do still see a lot more downside for NZUSD. I quite actually like the Aussie currency. I feel like it's got a lot more weakness to it. So EURUSD, I quite like the buys for this one. We're starting to pick up with some higher highs and some higher lows. So we've got a lovely low down there, high, low, and the market's creating some new highs. So I'm waiting for another pullback for this one. Keep looking to buy it to the upside and possible targets coming back to some of these areas and maybe eventually the high there as well. So I like EURUSD. I did miss some Aussie Swiss shorts earlier this week because I was trading Aussie dollar. But again, I do feel like this one's got some more downside into the prior low. Just looking at the higher time frame trend, just basically continuing back to the low there. So I still think there's room to the downside. Hence, if I can find some good quality shorts, although I'm not too sure where I would short from. I do like the consolidation up there, but I need a bit more confidence. But I'm keeping an eye for some shorts there too. So focus is kind of shorting Aussie at the moment, but yeah, I'm still bullish on the dollar currency as well. So I'll keep an eye.
So what do you mean? I'm sorry. So on Aussie CHF, what do you mean when you say you need more confirmation, for example, to short it?
Yeah, basically the way I trade based on a number of confluences. So for this example here, we've got a nice area of supply, which is where this momentum's come from. So that's one confluence in my book. But I also look at trend lines. I also look at Fibonacci. And coming into the week, I did have a setup over here. So I was looking at this trend line here, but we just missed that trend line confluence. So I wasn't keen on shorting Aussie dollar, but with AUSD, we did get a test of a trend line connecting these dots. So that's why I was focusing on that opportunity. But this one, we quite missed it. So I'm looking at possibly price coming back into this area here. If it can grab the trend line, nice. But if it doesn't, then it won't be a trade for me. But yeah, in terms of confluences, I look at Fibonacci, trend lines, and support resistance. So I need them to stack up for me to actually take a trade.
So you would be happy to take possibly a sell limit at this level where you marked the box, or would you like to see a bit more bearish momentum and then take a retest?
No, I would, if price was to get there, I would look to short buy. I take my trades on candlestick patterns, so bearish engulfs, bullish engulfs. So I don't
Okay,
set
cool.
limits,
Cool. Yeah.
but if I see a nice indication that momentum is turning, bearish engulfing is 90% of my entry triggers, then yeah, I would take a trade.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No.
Cool. Yeah. I also wanted to ask, in terms of gold, Marco, I know you're not a gold trader, but I always like to just for the audience, they love their gold analysis. Do you want to just
Mhm.
kind of mark up what you see on gold right now? I know it's a very
Yeah,
hot
sure.
market, of course, with with so much volatility, it's been moving quite a bit.
Oh, it looks very nice. Looks very strong to the upside. So as a trend trader, I do really like this sort of price action. I do really like these legs with clean closes on the tops of the candles. So that's something that I would consider being a buyer. But now at the top, it's possibly starting to slow down a bit, seeing a bit of a smaller candles and seeing a bit of a range here, so a bit of indecision right here. Also, we had a pause as well. So yeah, I would wait for the momentum to kick back in personally. I would wait for another large leg as a confirmation, and then it would definitely be a buyer in this market because this trend is really strong, really long, and there is definitely some opportunity. I do even see a flag formation, which I do like to take. So this would be the flag. First high, first low, second high, second low, and then this blue candle would be the entry. So yeah, I may start trading gold. It looks good, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean it's moving really well right now, and that's why I asked you about it. Miko, what do you think? I mean, gold as a trend trader, has it gone too far to join, or do you think there's some opportunity there?
I think there is some opportunity. At the moment, I would be a bit hesitant jumping into gold because it is coming back to some levels on the daily chart here. So I would be a buyer of gold based on the price action here. We've kind of seen this big kind of reversal type pattern, the V-shaped pattern here, the big impulse down, big impulse back up on the daily chart, which usually means market's ready to continue moving higher. So I do think there's a good chance gold can make it to 1980. 1980, which is this high here. So I do think there's upside to be had, but at the moment, it doesn't really make too much sense for me as a swing trader to look to try and swing anything at the moment for gold trading in these areas, especially with yesterday's daily candle, big wick to the upside, and it failed to break through. But if we can pull back to some of these areas, possibly there could be some nice longs here. If we come back, retest some of these areas, that would be of consideration, although the level is just a little bit close for me. So I probably wouldn't consider it myself. But I do have a bullish bias on gold at the moment. Everything is steaming to the upside and doesn't really look like we're slowing down anytime soon at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I made a mention before you guys came on just about gold and how, you can see the price action kind of forming bullish. It's really made a really impressive reversal in terms of strictly price action. I mentioned, however, I've been kind of more leaning on the bearish side fundamentally, but technically I've been unable to really find anything to justify that. Especially, you look at the 4-hour chart, it's just, as Marco pulled it up, and it was like, it's just so very clearly buyers are just supporting this market consistently. It's very hard even, and this is the challenge of when you mix fundamentals and technicals. I would not be a buyer personally because I'm a little bit hesitant on the fundamental side. The dollar strength is for a lot of reasons that would put pressure on gold. And then at the same time, the price action for me to actually get short is not there. So I can't really take a trade. I have like mixed sentiment. It's like one thing for me is up and one thing for me is, I'm sorry, it's the other way around, down and up, right? So I'm getting mixed signals. And the thing is, sometimes people, with all of our systems, whether it's Miko, Marco, myself, we all have like our checks and balances for trades that we need to take. And sometimes your checks are not going with your balances, or your balances aren't going with your checks. You're going to get some mixed signals. And that can be a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, I think it is just important to kind of stick to your system. And if you have a reason to enter, you do. And if you don't, you don't. And so I haven't taken any shorts. So even though my fundamental bias has been pretty bearish, the technicals have kept me out of being on a bad short trade. So it's been kind of cool just to see. You could look at it two ways. You could say, oh, I missed it. Or you could say, well, I stayed out of trades I shouldn't have been in. So just thought that was kind of a useful tidbit to add to the stream. What, Marco, do you have anything to add to that? Do you ever have situations where you get kind of some things pointing bullish, some things pointing bearish?
So, well, I look at only price actions. So actually, it's just up or down or sideways. But I wanted to ask you: is that a like an often occurrence where you get technical analysis saying it will go down, but fundamental saying it will go up? So does that happen often?
It actually does very often. But the other thing is, for me, I have a very wide net. So I have a lot of things that I trade. So I'll trade anything from oil to gold to indices to currencies to yen crosses, dollar crosses. I'll trade them all if I'm actually getting the confirmation from both, which is, I guess, the entire point of like the software that our teams built. Its goal is to find those lineups that are actually already kind of lined up. Like we're getting a nice fundamental read from all the economic data. And at the same time, we've got trends, seasonality, other factors that are contributing. But again, that's just, a system that we've built. That's the way we approach the markets. And each one of us have those things, whether it's you check multiple time frames, whether it's you're already in X number of dollar crosses already and you don't want to add another one. There's all sorts of different things that could keep you or hold you out of a trade or get you into a trade. So I just thought it was an interesting topic. It can be sometimes frustrating for traders. They get some signals that are bullish, some that are bearish, and they aren't sure what to do. I think the end result is patience is really important. You've got to wait for the right setups and be there to catch them when they're there. So
most people force to trade, and then over the long run, they lose a lot of money. So you have to be patient.
Exactly right. So patience, very, very important. Miko, Mark, I want to thank both of you guys for joining me on the show here. We've got both of your YouTube channels in the chat. And for those of you guys who are watching with us live, there's 350 people here. I want to make sure that we go shower some love to our guests on these shows. These shows are made possible by people like Miko, Marco coming on and adding value to the community. We're trying to build a network of real traders here. So please do us a favor. Go subscribe to Miko, Marco. Show them some support on their own channels. And we'll see you guys back on next week's episode.
Thank
you very much.
See you guys. Yep, always good having those guys on. And again, very technical focused traders, which is great. We love on this channel diversifying the list of people that we come on for the A1 Trading Show. I mean, this is a daily segment where you might get some fundamentalists speaking on here. You might get myself, which is of course a good mix. You might get technical traders on here. Just depends. We try and keep it a wide cast net to give you guys lots of different perspectives. With that said, guys, that is going to wrap up the show. Last thing I will say is if you would like access to our software or to our Discord channel, remember, you can message us right now. And if you message us right now as we close out the show, we're giving out special discounts for people who are watching with us live. If you would like more information about the EDGEFINDER, if you'd like access to the hedge funds data that we've got tracking smart money, right? The COT data stuff. If you'd like access to our algorithm, which gives us bullish and bearish readings on various currency pairs, commodities, indices, etc., message us. And then we'll see you guys back on the next one. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Have a great day.
And that concludes today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to give you the latest market coverage through our daily videos and articles. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe for more. Be sure to join our Telegram, where we host trading competitions, share free market analysis with trade setups, and have exclusive discounts to our products. Our Telegram is free to join. The link is in the description. See you all next time.